Hey everyone, welcome to another Coach Mo You Oughta Know series on job trauma. You know, most women I work with have had some level of being pushed aside, ignored, dismissed, disenfranchised, gaslit, yelled at in front of others, diminished, etc. All of those are in a category that I coin job trauma. And today, I'm going to talk about how to avoid this problem. And even when I say those words, how to avoid, I know that you're probably still going to have some job trauma in your career. As a professional woman, this is something that is all too common. And perhaps it's also happening, across the wide swath of all people in the workplace, all people who live life as humans, because there are some other humans who have some failings, some shortcomings, bad personalities, personality disorders who come our way. And I will say this, one of the things I want to talk about today is on how to prevent these episodes from happening. And it's a very short list of how to do this, but it is the most complex and commitment necessary aspects of driving your career, because it involves you taking responsibility for you. Now, listen in. Job trauma is going to happen upon the course of humans dealing with other humans. And you're going to come across of the literally maybe thousands of other humans that you're going to work with over your 40 plus year career. You're going to come across some people who are just bad actors. And those folks can really do damage if you let them in. So as we're talking about how to avoid job trauma, please know that I'm also talking about how you personally must navigate these things and take full responsibility for the environment in which you have chosen to either be in or stay in. One of our wonderful clients landed a great dream job in 12 weeks in our workshop, and she was super excited. It was a pay increase. It was a great title. It was a great organization. 2 months later, she's finding herself in a negative scenario, and now knowing why the position was available in the first place, even though she asked in the interview, and that's one of our standard things to do. But now she finds herself in a situation that is not good. But here's the thing. She has an opportunity now to learn better and be better and do better. So learn better. What are the things that begin to happen when you are in a traumatic or toxic environment? If you are focused on doing and getting stuff done, and you have sort of like a head down mentality, you may miss the signals. So when we are aware of how we feel and we are aware of really seeing what's going on, not just what's being talked about, but we actually have eyes going out around what's really happening. What are the actions that are happening that reveal the priorities in the organization? So no matter what people say to you, your real key to life is to see what they do, because it's by our actions that we are revealed. So as far as preventing job trauma, I want you to pay closer attention to what people actually do than to what they say, or than what they say they will do. And oftentimes as human beings, we want to believe the best, we want to believe something better, and we might create sort of like this rose-colored glasses scenario. But I want you to pay right attention especially if you're in a current toxic or traumatic environment, and take some notes down right now. What are the bosses or the people in charge, whatever level you're at, there's always someone else in charge or higher level. What are they actually doing? What are the priorities that are being revealed by their actions? Take a look at that. So you can learn to be a better assessor of your situation. Number 2 is to be better. So when I've witnessed over the years of coaching women, especially through job difficulties, is that oftentimes we put ourselves at the lower end of the priority scale, and we don't pay attention to what we need or to who we must be in order to have a thriving career. So when I say be better, it's up to you to build yourself up. There's a phrase in personal development and success that says, don't wish you had smaller problems, wish you were bigger. And so I will take that to heart as a career coach and actually helping over 2,000 women through a growth process. One of the keys to having a better experience in life is for you to grow, for you to become a better version of you, for you to become a stronger version, more courageous, more aligned and more authentic with who you are. And this is why my approach in my Kick-Ass workshop, over 12 weeks, the very first thing we focus on is bringing your soul back to life, because it's that essence of who you really are, that essence of what lights you up and turns you on and makes you unique. It's that version of you that is the best version of you. And if she's asleep or depleted or gotten lost, you got to bring her back to life, because you can't be better if you don't have your soul brought back to life. This is a really important aspect of how to avoid job trauma, because when you're a higher version of you, you're going to act differently when you're experiencing something negative. And the first thing you're going to do differently is not take it personally. When we take traumatic or toxic situations personally, we have just guaranteed the trauma pattern. When we take it in as our fault or something we could have done differently and own it in our nervous system, we've now begun to create the trauma pattern. So when you're being better, you're a stronger version of you, you're a more sure, confident, and aligned version of you, you're not going to take things as personally or think that you're the one who's wrong. Matter of fact, I just coached someone on this last night. I said to her, just because your boss doesn't know any better, just because your boss didn't jump on that great idea that that committee later did, doesn't mean you did anything wrong. Your boss could be less smart, less interested, etc. So that's not your fault, but you must be able to see things for what they really are and be able to interpret them in a way that is reasonably objective, and you're the observer and not taking things personally. So learn by what people are doing, be better by expanding who you are and being a stronger version of you, and then do better. And I've got a real kicker here. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not an advocate of quitting. Not at all. Quitting is a victim energy. And even though it might seem like a great bailout plan, and it might seem like the only way you can get relief, and in some cases it might be, but when you quit, you're actually seeding defeat. But when you make proper decisions about vacating a position or moving on or deciding enough is enough, I'm going elsewhere, that's more of a proactive, take charge, courageous, I'm in charge of myself action. So I want you to consider doing better by knowing when to move on. Why would you stick in a situation where you continually get negative feedback or are traumatized or in a toxic environment? Why stay there as if it's the only job on the planet? If you're new to my work, I'm going to introduce the fact that I'm a seasoned C-suite executive. I had a 40-year career in healthcare, moving up from a registered nurse through different levels of management, business, and running large national organizations. At the end of my career in the C-suite, finishing off as a chief operating officer of a growing national healthcare company, where we helped grow from about 54 million to over 250 million in 3 years' time. That was a lot of growth. That was a lot of experience, and that was a lot of putting myself in decision-making and putting myself on the line, oftentimes against, in particular, some of the founders of that company. And knowing what was necessary to do to grow that company required me to be myself, be my full self, to learn what was necessary to be the most bold, courageous, aligned version of me, and to take decisions forward and to move the organization forward. All that required me to get fully aligned with my soul, which I did after my breast cancer journey from 2008. I'm going to tell you what, that breast cancer journey brought me back to my soul. I don't wish it upon anyone else, but that's what taught me the secret and the magic of what I help other professional women up level to. So if you're looking, where's my soul? How do I get my soul? Why don't you book a complimentary career clarity call with our team at mofall.com/talk, and we will review with you what's going on in your career, maybe the steps that you might be missing or not aware of, and how to get to the dream career that's going to be the right organization, the right role at the right level, and the right compensation. We can help you understand what the next steps are and the things you have to clear out of your way in order to achieve that. Many of our clients have achieved beyond their wildest imaginations, not just in their career move we've been able to help them get, but most importantly, how they now feel about themselves. If you've been in a job trauma pattern for even greater than one day, you've probably diminished yourself to a level that you're either not moving forward or you're starting to second guess yourself and not move yourself forward, either not move out and move up in a manner that probably would be more fitting for your career. Or if you've lost your job, which is one of the biggest job traumas out there, actually working with a team of experts and a proven formula so that you can up-level yourself after a job loss is the way to go. Most women after a job loss will begin second guessing and doubting themselves and take a backslide on their career, which can literally cost hundreds of thousands of dollars over one's career. Studies by McKinsey and Company and the Lean In organization through the last 3 years have found that the pandemic caused many women to have backslides in their career. And the women who were at the higher levels of their career are possibly going to lose up to $1.5 million in earnings in their careers based on the backslides that they took. The catch up is very difficult. So if you've lost your job or if you're in a toxic work environment, don't backslide to solve it. That is like the opposite of what the best solution is. The best solution is for you to bring your soul back to life, learn by watching what they're doing, become a stronger version of you, and then do the things that are necessary to execute at the higher level. You don't have to overwork to be successful, even though so many people do it. It's not the necessary recipe for success. The recipe for success is to move yourself up the career ladder in a proactive fashion as you're becoming a better, bigger version of you and leaning into the resources and the team in the appropriate manner. Just because you haven't seen it done by others doesn't mean it's not possible. I've witnessed in my career the people who are at the highest levels have more of their shit together. And it's those who struggle with defining themselves, with putting up with bullshit from others, settling for less, taking and internalizing the problems of others as the fact that they're not doing enough. Those are the women whose careers get stalled out. So if you're taking things personally, if you're not moving ahead because you think that there's something wrong with you, and you're looking at the toxic or traumatic situation that you might be in as something that you've done wrong, and you're beginning to doubt yourself, today is the day to change that. Today is the day to take action and to do something different. The only reason why you're in a traumatic pattern that hasn't changed is because you haven't changed. Either you're not taking the proper actions, or that you're so stuck in self-doubt that you don't know if you could or should or what the right move is. I urge you today to do something different. And it's not your fault that you can't do it on your own. I couldn't do it on my own either. I hired my first coach in the year 2000. And it wasn't until after my breast cancer, 8 years later, that I actually learned the depths of what I was leaving behind. That power in my soul is what exactly propelled me forward. So today's the day for you. Instead of putting up with a traumatic work environment, look around and see what the priorities are of the organization or the people around you and above you, and do a real assessment about the organization that you're in. Take an assessment also about the role that you're in. Have you stayed there too long? Are you stuck? Are you getting left behind and marginalized? Time to stop that and to change it right away. And how you do that is become a better, bigger version of you. That's our secret sauce. We only get started working with professional women by doing a deep dive discovery in our career clarity call. And you can book that at mofall.com/talk. And we can go ahead right away with you and begin assessing your situation and to see if we can help you do better, do more, earn more, and be more aligned and powerful in your life. And indeed, that is what we do for the over 2,000 women we have helped. So let me summarize here what I'd like you to consider in order to prevent job trauma for yourself. Number one, you have to get real about your situation. You have to see what the actions are, which reveal the priorities of your organization and or your boss. Get real about that and take real stock in why it is that you're staying there and determine, is that really the true reason? Is that really the true way you want to keep going? And once you make that assessment, I want you to take a good look at the woman in the mirror. Is she becoming a better version of herself, or has she diminished and gotten depleted because she has put up with something less? Don't settle in life, because when you settle in life, you are giving others permission to treat you poorly. You've put a telegraphed energetic vibration out there that I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. So you have to become a bolder, bigger, more aligned version of yourself. That's right. And I'm calling you out. I'm taking 100% responsibility for your career trajectory and your life. There's only one person who's in charge of you, and she stares at you in the mirror every single morning. Love on her just a little bit more and take care of business with yourself and become a better, bigger version of you. That's how to avoid job trauma and to be in the driver's seat of your life. The next thing is to do differently. So when you do differently, you're going to take action and move on in a proactive, confident, up-leveling sort of way. Not quitting out of desperation, not backsliding because you don't feel good about yourself, but literally get the help of experts. Get a proven formula. Get a team around you. Join a community of other women who know exactly what's going on and who are moving forward. Surround yourself with action takers. Surround yourself with great strategies. Surround yourself with experts. Those are the ways to avoid job trauma from continuing to eat away at you and deplete and diminish not only you and your soul, but your life and your future. Don't you see how long-standing the effects can be of staying in that situation and not doing the proper things about it? It's not only costing your soul and your energy, it's costing you real money in your pocketbook and in your future and for your retirement and for the vacations that you want to enjoy and go on and the memories you want to create with your family. Don't shortchange them because you've shortchanged you. Do something about it, and you certainly can. Book a call with us at mofall.com/talk. Let's get the ball rolling. And if we can't help you, we'll steer you in another direction. But if we can, and we have the right solution for you, and we know that you really could value from it, we will talk to you about what we do and how we do it. So today's the day to move on from job trauma, move on from toxic environments, and avoid it forever by having the right tools and strategies in your pocket and taking action to be the best version of you. This is Coach Bo Fall and our trauma series. Today is the day to stop the job trauma and do steps and take steps to prevent it in the future. This is Coach Mo Fall, mofall.com/talk. Let's book a call. Let's get things going for you. Let's change this once and forever and help you get on the right track of the right trajectory for that dream career and that dream life. It's possible for you. Take action today. We'll see you on the next steps of trauma, but book your call today. Get on our calendar, mofall.com/talk. See you next time.